See if that does anything.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Sweet.
Apologise about that, guys. We just, as we said, a few power issues here, but just having an unfortunate race here in the wet. He's fallen far back behind. I'm not sure if he had a bit of damage there with Dan the Racer, and he's just going to have to wait for a safety car, unfortunately. Hopefully he can just put in some consistent laps and crawl his way back up to the rest of the pack. Who are you on board with now at the moment, Ethan?
At the moment, I'm at the battle for second and third at the moment, and it's looking like Nolly's going to put the pressure on Bridgie. Bridgie's going to put the pressure on Mertz.
Listen here, and he lets Luke. He lets bang through. Luke is right on his gearbox at the moment, so unfortunate for Mertz, but I know he's got the tenacity to fight back up there to the front. Luke Fallow up on the inside of the Williams gets the move done, but Mertz is fighting. He's trying to hold on. He's going to have to let that go. And Swiss Lord as well in the Mercedes is on the back of Mertz. Now, we know these two have had a run-in at the start of the season when Mertz was repping Haas. So hopefully Swiss Lord and Mertz can just keep out of their way and keep it nice and clean on track and get these moves done at the opportune time. So looks like Quick Killer is absolutely smashing this race in the rain. He's out to almost a 9-second lead over Bridgie at the moment. So Bridgie in P2 has got his work cut out if he wants to win this race. There's going to have to be a safety car, you'd imagine, Ethan.
Oh, well, you would love a safety car around about now to bring the field back together. Yeah, safety car, he's going to need it at this stage with how spread the field is. At the moment, though, if he can stay within the toe of the car ahead, that's how you're going to keep the moves being made.
If we can, on board with Salmons, if we can, Ethan, who's just coming up to the back of Quiet Cake at the moment in P8. Now, Quiet Cake holding the outside line here, not expecting T. Simmons to send it. T. Simmons, nice line there from both of the drivers. Yeah, it's tricky coming out of turn 3 there. Looks like Quiet Cake got a much better exit out of there, but T. Simmons will be on the back of him. He's only 7 tenths behind, so they'll keep fighting. Looks like Mertz is fighting at the moment with Luke Fallow. Swiss Lord's fallen a little bit off, but Mertz is side by side with the Williams at the moment, coming to this god almighty corner. They've both given enough room there. Very nice. Mertz will have to concede there. He's got the outside position. It looks like Mamba is getting lapped here from the boys, so he's going to have to give way there, and he does nicely. Swiss on the outside gets the move done around the lap driver. So Leak Fallow up into P5 at the moment, and Gobby's on the back of Bridgie, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm still looking at this fight between Quiet Cake and T. Simmons.
Okay.
As Battlecat said, T. Simmons is absolutely flying. He's gone from last to 9th in 9 laps.
Well, he's up 10 positions. That's exactly right. So, the Red Bull driver's like a duck in water out here in Interlagos. So he's absolutely lapping it up, but can't really seem to reel in Quiet Cake just yet. He's going to have to get a much better exit out of 2 and 3 here if he can get it done. Let's have a look. That's a much better line here. Quiet Cake got a little bit crossed up. The Red Bull gets him in his sights, lines him up, trying to reel him in here. Nice driving from these two, so that's going to be a battle to keep an eye on. We'll move a little bit further up now. So it looks like Mertz has got the job done on Luke Fallow.
He had a look, not quite going to make the move work. They think's better of it. He's coming up around to that tricky complex of corners. You've got to get this one right, especially in the wet. Otherwise, you're just going to veer off into the outside wall. Then
you're exactly right. If you brake too late around here, around this section that you were just talking about, you miss your braking point, you're as good as over. Like, you can't afford to just oversend it, because it'll just send you off your racing line just completely. So you've got to brake early in the wet.
Not only, speaking about racing line through there, it's a one line only. You can't get 2 cars around there at the same time. And he's going to line them up for the straight from the looks of things. He's right on the gearbox. T. Salmons. He's going to have a look at the front straight, keeping within that toe I was talking about earlier. He's going to go down the inside, or look on the inside. He's going to put the fire, give it to Aston, bangs wheels. He's going to get it done.
Quiet Cake definitely gave him a little bit of a squeeze there. And then they're both banging a few wheels as they go through the exit of turn 3. So Salmons gets it done, but not with a bit of fight from Cake, that's for sure. Good little battle there coming out of the corners. So Mertz is trying to chase down Bang at the moment. Luke's fallen a little bit back, and Swiss Lord as well is a second and a half behind Luke Fallow. But T. Salmons, you keep an eye on, in up 11 positions at the moment, and he's 4.4 seconds behind Swiss. So we'll have a look and see if that time drops a little bit further. Can you spot any other battles going on at the field, Ethan?
Next closest one, it's about 6/10. The difference. It's the battle for 13th and 14th between Ratbag and Jared.
Oh, we do love these two drivers here, Jeneth and Ratbag. Jeneth, of course, is an Inters special. He's a Hong Kong native, and you'll see him, you'll hear him appearing on commentary every now and then, sometimes in Tier 1 special comments. Jeneth is absolutely one of our favourites and very funny, you've got to say. Loves a good laugh, and Ratbag as well, synonymous with some of those calls.
And a couple famous lines as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We love Ratbag. So up in P13 and Jeneth P14, so they're fighting. We'll move a little bit further up. We'll get on board with Mertz at the moment in the Ferrari, who has...
that gap's come down quite a bit. Mertz is putting the pressure on Bang at the moment.
He is. He's really chased that time down, and he's left Luke Fallow in his wake. So Mertz really getting the best out of those wet tyres at the moment. I've got to say, the Tier 2 driver, my teammate Marty B, is in his engineer for Mertz at the moment. So I'm sure he's giving him a really good relay of information and keeping him nice and calm in that seat.
Yeah, obviously after I do want to point out after a lot, I think he's stepped up in Tier 2. Last week, Mertz.
Yeah, he did. He actually replaced my seat, and he won the race. Can you believe it or not?
I know. So, do you think maybe he's ready for that Tier 2 seat?
Well, he was a Tier 3/Tier 2 driver at the start of the season, so he could have been drafted into either tier. He was drafted into Tier 2 as a teammate of Gordo, who is the team principal there, and Mertz just wasn't really having great results. Not sure if he was applying himself, but yeah, look, I took advantage of his Tier 3 status and signed him to Ferrari, and he's really been exceeding expectations. So you'd imagine he may be drafted into Tier 2 next season. And of course, Quick Killer, as the Tier 3 champion, will be moved up into Tier 2. Mercy, of course, requesting that one, but Mercy can't have it his own way. As the Tier 2 champion back-to-back, it looks like Mercy will be elevated into Tier 1, and I can hear the shouts from his counterparts all over the country yelling at the moment with a chance that they can maybe win the Tier 2 championship.
Yeah, and as we talk about Mertz gets the move done on Bang, and now Luke is going to put Bang under some pressure now.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're not Mercy, are you? All right, so yeah, Bang, he's just lost out to a second there behind Mertz, but Luke Fallow is putting pressure on Bang at the moment, and Luke is not letting things go by the wonder side here. He's really getting the most out of that Williams. You can hear it absolutely revving the hell out of that car. So just coming around here, looks like he's got the run on Bang in the Alfa Romeo.
He's not going to have anything for him. I don't think he has anything for him though.
No, he's going to wait.
He has a look, but thinks better of it. Donmore picks up the first penalty of the race.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And I think we saw, who was it, Wayne Morrison has pick up the fastest lap as well. So Wayne's going to have to need to get back up in the top 10 to take that point. At least at the moment, he's taken that that 1 point away from the fastest lap in the top 10.
Luke still pressuring.
Yep, Luke in the Williams on the back of Bang at the moment. And we know Bang.
Oh, close there.
Yep, Bang's recently... Pushing. He really is pushing, isn't he? And I've got to say, it looks like the rain stopped. We do still have a fair bit of spray coming off the back of the cars, but Interesting to see who's going to be the first car to pit if he decides to pull the trigger. We're not going to sure. We're not sure what's going on with the weather. We know there is a lot of clouds around today, so we'll stay with Luke Fallow at the moment, putting a lot of pressure on Bang. Of course, we know Bang just recently signed full time to Alfa Romeo. Timmy, the team principal there, just took a shot in the dark. You'd have to say he has signed him before. Pretty sure he's been a Red Bull driver under Timmy, and
Luke gets the move done.
He is a race winner, but Luke gets the move done, as you say there, Ethan. Take it away.
We'll go down further back in the pack in a second. We'll see if Bang can fight back, and he's really pushing that out for Romeo to get back by the Williams. The Williams is going to hold the inside. The Alfa Romeo is going to try and fight around the outside, but nothing they can do about it. This is a close fight.
That's fantastic racing in the wet. You've got to say, yeah, going down that straight there, just after the first couple of corners, I think it was after turn 4 onto the straight. Just brilliant racing. Both drivers trying to fake each other out.
DRS is online.
Wow,
is it now time? Is it? Do you dare take the risk?
That's an early call too for DRS, and Quick Killer is staying out, so the race leader has decided not to pit. Let's have a look at Bridgie. We're getting on board with the McLaren driver in P2 at the moment. Is he going to take the risk?
Two. We'll try and figure out what that is. I think we've just gone back green.
Mertz is pitting, so the first car, the Ferrari, has decided to box, and Luke Fallow has decided to join him. Bang in the Alfa Romeo continues to drive on, so we've got 2 cars in the pit at the moment. You've got Mertz in the Ferrari and Luke Fallow in the Williams, so they were currently P3 and P4. Interesting to see how this is going to play out. Quiet Cake as well, and the Aston Martin decided to pit after having a little bit of a tussle there with Salmons coming through the field in the Red Bull, up 13 positions at the moment. He's decided to stay out. We've got Ersko pitting as well, and Jerabot in the Ferrari, so both Ferraris in to put on the slick tyres.
Yep, so I think one debate that needs to be had regarding the changeover period when it goes from wet to dry is what tyres are put on. Personally, I like myself a set of softs to get temperature in the tyres easier, but it looks like Mertz has gone for the hard compound.
He has. Luke Fallow behind him on the mediums, as is Quiet Cake, as is Ersko, and Jerabot in the other Ferrari decided to go the hards as well with Argo and Domwar. Unfortunately, Domwar was speeding in pit lane, so he's racked up 8 seconds of penalties. Unfortunate for Domwar. He's really going to be kicking himself over there in the USA at about 2:30 in the morning in the pitch black.
Yeah, exactly. So when the
we can
tyres
get the mini map up. Sorry there, Ethan. Just get the mini map up for us, and we'll get the tyres up as well for the boys. Quick Killer has decided to box. He's put on the mediums, as has Bridgie in P2. So it looks like all the cars are coming in. Bang, Swiss Lord, Salmons, PMAC. They're all deciding to pit now. So let's see where Mertz is going to come out here. Mertz is in P4, I believe. Yes, he is. So Gobby is winning this race at the moment. He's still got the intermediate tyres on. Then Quick Killer, net P1, you'd have to imagine. Bridgie, P3 on the mediums. And then Mertz not far behind on the hard. So you have to say it's played out fairly well for every driver there.
Yep, it really has. So, as you said, it's a net P1 for the current, the season 5 tier 3 champion, as he wrapped it up in Canada last week. And Mamba goes faster, so now we're just going to see those lap times just keep peeling time off lap at a time.
Yeah, you'd imagine the fastest lap is up for grabs again. But yeah, as you said, shout out to Quick Killer, who wrapped up the championship last weekend in Tier 3. He first appeared in round 6 at Belgium for Alfa Romeo after being signed by team principal Timmy. Quick Killer made his impression felt immediately by securing pole at Spa, following that up with a P9 in his debut race. He's amassed 295 points after his second place last round. As you said, secured a championship for Alfa Romeo. So shout out to Quick Killer. He's had 7 wins, 4 second places, 6 fastest laps and 2 poles in just 14 races so far. So he's done amazingly well, and he'll enjoy himself in Tier 2 next season.
Yep, so we just had a McLaren around. I believe that was
Must have been Trenner, I believe, because Bridgie's still holding it out in position 2 at the moment, and Bridgie's actually coming up to the back of his teammate Trenner. So interesting to see if Trenner might just tow his teammate along here and see if he can bridge that gap to Quick Killer. You'd have to say that Mercy will be all over this, engineering his boys, seeing if he can bridge the gap from P2 to P1.
Oh, we got a car around. I think that was Luke.
It looks like Luke Fallow. Luke Fallow is back on the grass in the Williams, doing his best impersonation of Jim's mowing out there in Brazil. So Luke Fallow, that's twice now out on the grass. Really, I don't know, just maybe lack of rear downforce, maybe, Ethan?
You'd think so in these conditions.
It's hard to say. I mean, you want as fast as speed as you can around here, but I tell you, I needed a lot more rear downforce after practice on Thursday night. Just kept losing the rear end coming out of one of those really windy corners.
Yeah, and obviously this track is going to be hard on tyres, so it's going to eat your tyres fairly quickly, and then it's going to leave you out to dry. So it might be a tyre issue.
Yeah, it may well be. You've got to say, pretty interesting how quickly it dried up here in Brazil. It's just one of those places where it's fairly humid, and with the cloud cover and the sun coming out and no rain, it really does dry up quickly. So these drivers making the best of the fine conditions at the moment. Mertz, he's got about a 1.8 gap to Bridgie in P2 at the moment. As we move further down, there's no real fights going on. It looks like Swiss Lord is just trying to break into that 1 second gap into the DRS of Bang in P6 at the moment. So that looks to be the closest one. Anything else you can see, Ethan?
At the moment, I think the closest fight on the racetrack is the fight for 11 and 12. It's about 9/10 the gap between Ratbag again and Jaredith.
No, you're dead right. They have closed the gap. Unfortunately, Jeneth and Ratbag do have those time penalties. Okay, so Jeneth has a 3-second time penalty. Ratbag has a 5-second. So Ratbag had that. I believe he had a crash with someone, unfortunately, or maybe he was speeding in the pit lane. I can't remember now. We have lost someone. It looks like Dan the Racer has left the session, so I'll send an invite out. Hopefully he can join back in.
Hopefully he can, yep. So, I think that was the Williams that went by there.
It was the Williams of Luke Fallow, was it? Or are we back on board with Ratbag? Oh, it looks like we've got a... Gobby is in the grass. And the Red Bull up in a P5. So Gobby losing a position there to Luke Fallow in the dry conditions. So it's not something you'd expect to see from Gobby, who's been in fantastic form. But he's coming up on the back now of Bang, trying to get that position back there, Gobby. So Bang taking... full advantage of that slip up there from the Red Bull driver, and Swiss Lord as well on the back of Almighty Gob, looking to take up another position there as Gobby was really struggling coming out of Sector 3 there.
Yeah, now the battle between Ratbag and Jaredith is the other battle between Ratbag, Jaredith and PMAC. The three of those cars have now put themselves into a little bit of a fight. Ratbag gets a bit squirrely out of turn 2, turn 3.
Yeah, lack of rear downforce maybe again there. So Ratbag hopefully can just catch that time up and be battling with those two cars in front of him, because we need a bit of action on the track here at the moment. Gobby is pushing hard on the back of Bang, and it looks like Swiss Lord's on the back of him as well. So we might move up and have a look at this one unfolding. I'm just on the back of Swiss Lord at the moment. Very nice exit there on the power, nice and early. Looks like he could have a run on Almighty Gob here. Let's just see how this one plays out. He opens up the back wing, but so does Gobby. Dan the Racer joins back in. Gobby's got to get the move done here on Bang. Will Swiss Lord send it on the inside? No. Thinks better of it. Tucks back in behind the Alfa Romeo, looking to get a much better exit out of 2 and 3. I think he may have, but of course Bang will pick up the DRS. He does. So Gobby's going to be under pressure here. Will Bang send it? Oh, I tell you what, he will. No, he won't. I thought I knew him, but I didn't. He thinks better of it. Just waits back in there, putting pressure on the back of the Red Bull gearbox at the moment. Just feeling the pressure. Can Gobby hold his nerve and keep this, Ethan?
Well, that's a matter to find out within the next 26 laps or so. Do what we do need though, the safety car.
Oh, yeah.
We need a safety car.
Dan the Racer and Mamba and Trenner, Wayno, Don Ward, Jerobot, they'll all be asking for and even Ersko probably wouldn't mind a safety car at the moment because Quick Killer has amassed a 19.5-second lead over the second place at the moment. So Quick Killer, after winning the championship, you know, there's something to be said. I know I hear this a lot when I'm watching the UFC. Joe Rogan goes on about it. When you actually become a champion, there's something that happens inside of you. You actually gain a belief in your abilities to be better by at least 10%. That's just what being a champion gives you. And, yeah, look, you know, I was fortunate to win a championship in Season 2 at Inters. It was on a callback. And, yeah, so I can tell you it does. It does lift your confidence, there's no doubt about it. So Quick Killer absolutely in the form of his life at the moment. 23 laps almost completed here, and he's absolutely blitzing the field.
Yeah. Yes.
He's dropped the sandbags, according to Battle Cat. Quick Killer. He's officially dropped the sandbags. Now he's won the chip, and away he goes.
He's just pumping fastest lap after fastest lap. We'll go further back in the pack to Jerobot because he seems to be having a bit of a fight with Esco here. Oh, is it Sorry, no, it is Esco and Argo that are fighting, not Jerobot.
Esco, Argo. Let's have a look. It sounds like a bit of a Esco and Argo. What does that sound like? I probably won't go there. So Ersko is actually, he's under 1 second, or he's just gone back out to a second there, so he really needs this DRS if he's going to fight this Aston Martin for a few better points than P14 at the moment. Of course, Ratbag has got a 5-second penalty, so that's going to come into play at the end of the race with the 2 cars behind him at least anyway. Hopefully Jerobot and the Ferrari can close the gap there to pick up a few more points. Currently sitting in P15, so he will collect a point at the moment. Let's move a bit further up. Yeah, look, we'll stay on board with Ratbag and PMAC at the moment. This is where the battle is. So you've got to say PMAC doing a pretty good job. Also Jeneth as well, P10 in the Alpha Tauri there. Really consistent racing from Jeneth. We know he's really stepped up his racecraft in the last season or two, and he's doing a great job. Although he picked up a time penalty, yeah, he's done really well.
Yeah. Ratbag closing the gap to the Mercedes driver as Gobby makes a move for position number 4 now. Got a yellow flag. That's been cleared fairly quickly, but just might have been a slow-moving car. Another yellow flag, and this is Argo this time. Just around that bottom corner. So, we'll stay on board with this fight. It is about 3 tenths the gap. It is closer than they do it. This is Argo and Ratbag and PMAC.
It is, yeah, Ratbag and PMAC. Yeah, Ratbag really hanging on there. Almighty God picks up a 3-second time penalty in P4. That's going to cost him, you'd imagine, at the end of the race. So, yeah. Luke is just a second behind him in P5 in the Williams, Almighty God. So that 3 seconds, yeah, he's really going to have to put that foot down if he's going to make sure that doesn't hurt him at the end of the race. Swiss Lord is he's about 4 seconds behind Almighty God there. So at least Almighty God looking only to lose 1 position. We've got a car coming out of pit at the moment in front of Swiss Lord. So that might be your car getting lapped, I'd imagine. The Alpha Tower, yeah, it looks like Mamba. So Mamba will be getting some blue flags, and he'll have to come out of the way there. I'm going to jump on board with Quiet Cake at the moment, if you don't mind. He's in P9 at the moment. Quiet Cake currently sitting P7 overall in the standings with 110 points, so consistent year from Quiet Cake, and pretty consistent race, you'd have to say, as well. As I said, he's been in pretty good form, so he is closing the gap to T. Salmons. It was up to about 2 seconds about a lap ago, and he's got it down to around 1.5. Just squeezing it a bit further out now to about 1.8. But we know that Salmons had the better run on Quiet Cake earlier, so I know Quiet Cake will be doing all he can to bridge that gap and get the overtake revenge there.
Yeah, everyone in the chat is praying or begging for a crash of sorts.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be it'd be Mercy asking for a safety car. That's just a guess because he does it every week. Just to helping out Trenner, I'd imagine. His teammate there, who he's just really hasn't had a good race of it, but he's hanging out and hoping to see that safety car. Ratbag looks like he might get the move done here. Absolutely blitzing down the back of the field, gets the move done on PMAC up into P11. Ratbag, well done.
Yeah, just a warning if you're listening to the stream and you're coming around the first couple corners, Mamba's AI is coming back on the racetrack. He has retired from the session in the pit lane.
He may have lost the server. Oh no, we're back. Mamba has joined the party. Mamba, a DNF there. Can you run us through what happened?
I had probably one too many drinks before I jumped in the seat, to be honest with you. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I had to try something, with that drive-through. I was just like a lap and a half too early. But, I don't know, it's just not my day. It was kind of silly out there. Yeah,
well, look, we do prefer the honesty. So, you weren't in your best form, you'd have to say, before the start of the race, but that's okay, mate. We appreciate you jumping in that seat. We know it's not easy for you over there in America at this time of night. So, yeah, as you said, with the drive-through, really put yourself behind the 8 ball there. But you got to say your teammate Jenneth up into P10 is having a pretty good race today.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't paid attention too much. I hope he has a good result. I'll jump on and see what's going on, but I'm just kind of head in my hand, like, what the heck was I doing out there?
Yeah, unfortunate Mamba, but I've got to say, you have had a pretty consistent year. You're sitting in P9 overall with 97 points, so unfortunate events unfolding for you at Brazil, but hopefully you can have a much better result in the final round at Abu Dhabi next week, mate.
Yeah, definitely looking for a good result like that track. But yeah, it's been a fun year. We'll see you at the last race. Take care.
All right, Mamba, thanks for joining us tonight. We know that you've got to work in a few hours, so I'm sure he's off to bed. Catch a few Z's, and yeah, wish you best of luck next weekend, mate. We'll see you then. All right, Ethan, let's get on board with Bridgie at the moment, up in P3 in the McLaren. He has caught Mertz. Oh, sorry, Mertz has actually overtaken Bridgie, and Mertz is in P2, so it's about 25 seconds behind Quick Killer. I doubt he's going to catch him, but this is where the battle is at the moment for P2. Can Bridgie wrestle back the lead here in P2 and chase down that prancing horse that Mertz is currently occupying? Well, I hope he can. I hope he can, for my sake anyway. So I'm going to get on board with Ethan. Are you there? All right. Let's. I think Ethan may be on board with Quiet Cake, I believe. Yep. I'll jump on board with Quiet Cake. Sounds like my co-commentator may be just having a bit of a nap here. That's all right. We'll he'll catch his Z's, and I'm sure he'll be back on board with me any moment. So I'll just call this race as it's unfolding. So we're on board with Quiet Cake, but I can tell you Bridgie is about 4/10 off the back of Mertz at the moment, and he'll just be looking to put as much pressure on the back of that Ferrari as he can. Try and climb himself back up into that P2 position. We see T. Salmons picks up a 3-second time penalty That's unfortunate. He is in P9, but it doesn't look like it'll hurt him at the moment if things stay the same as they are, because he's got about an 8-second gap here to Jeneth at the moment. Yeah, I've never had my co-commentator fall asleep. This is quite amazing. So, Ethan, you're creating records here, mate. Look, I know he had a late one, so yeah, I do appreciate Ethan jumping on. He's obviously completely worn out here, so I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe someone can... Actually, I've got his phone number. I'll give him a call now and see if he will pick up. This is going to be hilarious. All right. The phone is ringing, and Luke is racing in P5 at the moment, looking to close the gap to Gobby. And it looks like Luke has closed that gap, but he's just... Gobby looks like he's pushed it out to about 1.5 seconds at the moment, so he'll be doing all he can to try and get into that DRS of Gobby, but Gobby has got a 3-second time penalty, so as we said earlier, it doesn't look like it's going to affect that P6 position of Swiss Lord. Gobby will only lose 1 if he can't stretch that 3-second time penalty out, and Bridgie's still behind Mertz at the moment. So, Ethan, if you can hear me, we'll get on board with Bridgie. Yeah, yep. Looks like... Yep. Just make sure that stream's still going for us.
Yep, still up running.
Beautiful. All right, so we're on board with Bridgie at the moment in P3, looking to chase down Mertz in the Ferrari. He's got the DRS open. He's within 3/10, and Mertz hugs the inside, so he will be defending as they come into turn 1. Very nice precision driving there from Bridgie. Stays away from the grass on the right-hand side. Uses all of those curves there. Stays away from the one there on the 3rd, 4th exit. Let's have a look here. Opens up the DRS, but Mertz has got some great straight-line speed here. Just tucking back in behind the Ferrari. So this is definitely... Oh, Trenner actually battling Ratbag at the moment. So... We'll have a look there. Trenner looks like he got that move done on Ratbag, but Ratbag fighting him on the inside. Gets the move back done on Trenner. This is great racing from these two at the back. Side by side, still they go. And Ratbag says thank you, takes the inside there, and Trenner concedes. All right, let's move back up to Bridgie in the McLaren. So Bridgie is 4/10. Oh, we've got rain falling. We have rain falling. We are just about 33 laps done here. This is absolute chaos. This is Lando Norris all over again in Sochi for Bridgie in P3. Or should I say Quick Killer? Will he pit or will he keep going? So Quick Killer's got 22 seconds. You'd imagine he'd probably stay out and try and risk it, but the rain is falling fairly heavily, considering that it's a dry track, and I can see some drops on his visor at the moment. Quick Killer in P1, and he gets a little bit squiggly out of there, so this is really going to throw a spanner in the works, Ethan.
Yeah, I guess the question is, well, you got a couple things to play in factor. One, how hard is it going to start raining? How much water the track's going to collect? And when you come in for fresh rubber.
Yeah, you'd imagine all of these cars, well, the majority of them will have fresh slick tyres, the fresh soft compound tyres, the fastest ones they're available, because you wouldn't have used them early on, and you'd imagine in qualifying, because it was wet there too, so yeah, you'd imagine every car's got some soft compound tyres to go on. We're still on board with Bridgie. Luke Fallow, of course, is pushing right on the back of Gobby, but we'll stay on board with Bridgie for P2 at the moment. Quick Killer has decided to stay out, so we've got 4 laps to go here. Bridgie looks like he's going to get the move done. Opens up the DRS. Mertz is burning. You'd imagine to stay in front. Marty B will be all in his ear telling him what to do. So nice defending there from Mertz. Bridgie looking to get a better exit out of 2 and 3 here. He does get a much better exit. Has to stop there behind the Ferrari. Almost pushing it around the side. Oh, he's going to get the move done here. Mertz can't do anything about this. So Bridgie... Yeah, Mertz will have to concede, you'd imagine. He does. So Bridgie, fine racing there from the McLaren driver. You'd imagine the team principal, Mercy, will be very happy in chat with that one. So, of course, Mertz was racing the team principal, Mercy, last week in Tier 2. So it's all happening between Ferrari and McLaren at the moment, Ethan.
Yeah, and then you go to the 3-car trap behind between Luke, Gobby and Swiss Lord, and they're having it out as well a little bit here.
No doubt about it. So Luke doing well to fight his way back up into P4 after cutting a bit of grass earlier on. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Doesn't look too serious. We'll stay on board here. Gobby, of course, closing the gap to 5/10, but he's got that 3-second time penalty that he should be able to stay in front of Swiss Lord. It reads here Swiss Lord 7 seconds behind Gobby, but I can see Gobby just a bit further up ahead, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
That is odd. Anyway, Gobby.
It is odd.
Well, I thought he had a move.
So Mert's got the move done. I'm sorry, Ethan. Mert's got the move done on Bridgie, so he's back up in a P2, and Bridgie is looking to get the job done where he got it earlier, just a lap ago, but concedes to Mertz there in P2. So this is really the fight for P2 at the moment. I think we may have to stay on board for the majority of the race here, as it looks like Quick Killer is going to run away with this one. But let's see if Quick Killer's going to box, actually. I'll keep on board. He gets a little bit of squiggly at the last couple of corners there, coming up the hill towards the pit entry. I'm pretty sure he's going to stay out.
It is noticeably harder. The rain is noticeably harder. Got a couple drivers already on the intermediates. I reckon the inters are the way to go unless you want to rough it out for 2 laps.
Yeah, let's have a look. We'll bring up the tyres. So Mertz staying in front. Who's going to pull the trigger? I don't think anyone's game to. If you do box, have you got enough life in those tyres to catch Mertz up on the slicks in the rain? Let's see what driver they're going to stay out. They're both going to take the gamble. Luke Fallow stays out as well in the Williams, so it looks like
time. It is definitely time.
It looks like every car staying out, and we do have Jerabot. We've got Ratbag, we've got PMac, Dom War, and Dan the Racer on the inters with just 2 laps to go. So we'll see if those guys can make up any positions on the wet tyres. We'll stay on board with Bridgie, who's just half a tenth. Well, just 1.5 tenths behind Mertz at the moment. So 1.5 laps to go between these two. Almighty God pushing Luke, but he's got that time penalty. It's going to hurt. We keep saying it. Bridgie going to have to play it very cautiously here. It is in the wet. He's going to have to get this move done as clean as possible. I'm not sure that he can get this cleanly done on those slick tyres with a wet track, though, Ethan. What do you reckon?
It's going to be hairy. It's going to be bold, but if you're not on the edge, I don't think you're racing properly.
Wayne Morris might be stuck off track, is he? Yes, Wayne Morris is exited in turn 1 and he's all over the grass. He's in the side barriers at the moment, just driving along the fence, trying to stay out of the way of the drivers coming onto the racing line. Yeah, poor Wayne there, but we'll stay back on board with Bridgie as he comes around the final turn now, looking to get on the back of that Ferrari. Wayne Morris picks up a 10-second time penalty. He'll get that one taken off. That's absolute BS. Bridgie on the outside. Mertz takes the inside defending line. Who's the better breaker? They're rubbing wheels. This is the final lap. Mertz takes P2 at the moment, so he just needs to hang on. Bridgie has to concede, and Luke Fallow holds on to P4 in front of Gobby at the moment. But we'll stay on board with Bridgie, who's got a good run here. Mertz is going to have to hold the inside to get the line here. Squeezes Bridgie onto the grass. That's a little bit risque. Gets the job done. Argo's out. Is DNF'd, unfortunately, in P16. Wayne picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's 13 seconds in the last 15 seconds.
Whoever was asked for a crash, there's your crash.
There's your crash, but there's no safety car, of course, on the final lap. That's not the way that this one's going to play out. So it looks like Quick Killer is going to come around the line and take another victory here. That'll be his 7th win in Tier 3 for Alfa Romeo. Outstanding, the Tier 3 champion, Quick Killer, in Brazil, round 19, Tier 3, comes across the line. He takes the victory. Let's go, Quick Killer. Mertz, Bridgie. It looks like Bridgie won't get the job done. He's about 8 tenths behind the Ferrari driver at the moment. Mertz, you little ripper, in the prancing horse, in the red car. The Tier 2 driver dropped from Haas, signed to Ferrari in T3. He's going to take P2 here, is in great form. Bridgie will take P3 in the McLaren. Luke Fallow looks like he's going to finish in P4 for the Williams. Outstanding drive from the top 4. Gobby, he will finish in P5. It looks like Swiss Lord won't drop that 3-second gap and will stay in P6 there. So outstanding driving from those guys in the top 5. Swiss Lord comes across the line. Bang will be next in P7 for the Alfa Romeo, so another outstanding drive from those two, from that team. Alfa Romeo, Timmy will be very happy to see those two in the top 7. Quiet Cake is going to come across the line in P8. Outstanding drive from Quiet Cake in the Aston Martin. Really good numbers for him today. T. Simmons, so he does get the job done on T. Simmons. Quiet Cake will have a nice little smile on the inside of his helmet, no doubt about it. T. Simmons, P9, outstanding, coming from the very end of the field after qualifying. And looks like it's ended the race there for me. I can't see the rest of the cars coming across the line. Let's have a look. So we have Jenneth in P10, Ersko P11, Trenner in the McLaren P12, PMAC P13, Ratbag P13, 14, Jerobot in the Ferrari will pick up the final points in P15, Donmore and Dan the Racer P16 and 17 respectively in the Alpines. Ethan.
Yeah, so congratulations everyone. Unfortunately we won't have time for interviews today, as I do need to bolt off to work.
No worries, mate. I appreciate you putting on the stream. So, yep, we'll have to wrap this one up. So thanks for sticking with us tonight, guys. This was an outstanding race in the wet at Brazil, of course. We saw Quick Killer just absolutely dominating that. Over 25 seconds he won that race. Outstanding from the Indian champion himself in the Alfa Romeo. Mertz P2 in the Ferrari. Really consistent driving there. Outstanding job. Bridgie as well in the McLaren. Classy driving from Bridgie. Pushing Mertz all the way there. He'll take the 3rd podium. Luke Fallow as well. Very consistent race. P4. P5 was Gobby. P6 Swiss. P7 Bang. P8 Quick. Quiet Cake. Salmons. P9. Jenneth P10. Mertz, how was your race?
Look, very mixed actually. Very stressful in the last couple laps, as my engineer was telling me that the rain's coming, and I'm like, oh, not again. But I think we made the right decision to stay out. But yeah, it was very fun.
Oh, mate, you certainly did. Outstanding race there. Great to see you finish in P2, of course. And we had Marty B in your ear, gave you some really good advice. I'm sure the battle with Bridgie at the end there was really something to behold. Unfortunately, Mertz, we're going to have to cut this one short here because Ethan's off to work. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We will see you again, Tier 2, tomorrow afternoon.